Hello my gorgeous loves out there and welcome. In today's video I'm going to be doing my first ranking of palettes I tried this year. I have 11 to go over, so I'm just going to give you all of my kind of final thoughts on all of these palettes. But before we get into this video, if you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Brie. I'm a crazy lover of all things beauty. I love to post a lot of fun, colorful makeup content, and I like to do a lot on any makeup. So if that is what you're into, then please hit that subscribe button and join this little family. But with that being said, let's get into this video. We're gonna get into these 11 palettes that I promise to, follow up and come back and give you guys my final thoughts, since I've had a chance to play with these multiple times on camera and off camera, and I'm ready to give you guys my thoughts on them. Now there are a few palettes that I did leave out of this ranking that I have already tried on my channel, but I wanted to test them out more. I felt like I didn't get to use them enough to really have final thoughts on them, so you'll be seeing those in another ranking. So in case you're wondering why I didn't mention a certain palette you saw me use, that is why. For this ranking, I'm going to start like how I usually do in these kind of videos, where I give you my least favorite up to my most favorite, and the different factors this is based on is either the quality of the shadows, the color story, the versatility, how much did I gravitate towards it, is to bring something unique and new to my collection, or is it not as exciting or as cohesive as I thought. It could just be various reasons like that on why I really loved something or didn't love it as much as I thought I would. Now if I rank something really low that you love, or rank something really high that you don't love, please do not take it personal, because this is based on my personal preference when it comes to makeup. I just like to put that out there so no one takes it personal, because this is makeup. It's all subjective, right? We all have different tastes and likes. But before we get into this ranking, if you're curious on what is on my eyes, I actually did film this look, and I think the video is going to come up after this one, I'm pretty sure. But I actually have the Glaminatrix Entrancing Eyes and the Glaminatrix Elegant Eyes on my eyes right now. One is a nudie monochromatic palette, and the other one is a berry monochromatic palette. And I have the Glaminatrix Cosmetics new blush duo that is in the shade Think Pink on my cheeks. But of course I also have my makeup linked below, but that video should be coming up soon. If I happen to get it up before this one, it will be linked below, put up in the corner. If not, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you're notified when the video goes up. I'm using multiple palettes in that video. So now we can get into the ranking. So at the bottom, which I feel weird putting this brand towards the bottom of the ranking, because I really love a lot of their products and I have raved about a lot of things from them, but something about the formula was just not what I usually get from this brand. And it's the El Camino palette from Gourmande Girl. This was a collab with Ladybug Glow, and I immediately picked up the palette because I thought the color story was fun and interesting, a little muted, and I liked the different tones. But I feel like the mattes are not as pigmented and easy to use as the other Gourmande Girl palettes that I have tried. I don't know if the formula was a little different because it was a collab with Ladybug Glow, because I think they make eyeshadow palettes as well. So I'm not sure what the change was. Were they using their formula, because I haven't tried that brand, or what? But it just didn't feel like that buttery, creamy goodness that I'm used to from Gourmande Girl. So I thought the color story was pretty and different and unique and very interesting. And I thought the metallics were nice. I mean, these two are very flaky and foil. This one's more of a satin. Honestly, I would have liked to see more metallics in this palette, because I do like those formulas. And I feel like maybe these two shades didn't both need to be in there. Maybe these two grays, maybe there would be but nice if there was a little bit more variety amongst the mattes. But it's really the formula that just threw me off, especially with the mattes. They're not unworkable. Like, you definitely have to build them up. They're just not what I expected, and that is why that is at the bottom of the ranking. And then that brings me to the other Gourmande Girls palette that they did with Ladybug Glow. It's the Paradise Cove palette. This one I put up higher because I really love the color story, and all the shimmers in here are super foiled. I just still felt like the mattes were not as pigmented and easy to build and use with this one as well. So I don't know. I do think maybe they put in a different matte formula in here. That's what I'm suspecting, you know, maybe to keep the price lower because, you know, it's a collaboration. I'm not saying that they put lower quality shadows in here. I just feel like there's something different than like their Halloween themed ones. Even their one I tried, it was the Frozen Kiss one, had their usual buttery and matte formula that's pigmented. So I just wish that that was what we got in these Ladybug Glow palettes because the color story was really pretty. I thought it was cute little, you know, artwork on there. Now we're going on to the next thing in the ranking, which is the ABH palette, and this one actually is really nice. I've used it at least 3 or 4 times for like date night or a quick look to throw on to go run errands when I'm just having a chill day. I think the mattes are like super beautiful and excellent in this palette. Nice and pigmented, but that's what I expect from ABH Cosmetics. The reason why this is like just a bit lower than the other palettes is obviously it's a more muted toned down color story, and I love a lot of color on my eyes, and I feel like the, you know, shimmers are just those more smooth, subdue like foils. They're not like that super intense bam in your face eyeshadows that you tend to get from indie brands, but I still appreciate the overall color story and how good the mattes are, and I can easily pull in like singles from indie brands, sparkly shades to top on them, and they're workable and nice. I think it's just a great formula if you like a smoother subdue shimmer formula that will enhance texture and look, you know, thick on the lids. And it's a good palette overall. It's a beautiful color story. If I'm gonna go for more nudie-esque colors, this would totally, you know, fit that, because I do like to have some muted greens thrown in with nudie shades or just muted colors overall. And I really like this wisteria shade. It's a beautiful inner corner highlight to add like an interesting pop of purple. I love that they included that in here. Now I do wish that they included some lighter shimmers too, because I feel like overall the shimmers are on the darker end. So I feel like if there was some lighter, brighter metallics, I think I would have even ranked this up higher. It just overall leans dark, and I felt like the only true 2 things I could use as an inner corner highlight is wisteria and this beigey shade, but I prefer to have a more intense shimmer moment in the inner corner. Then the next palette in the ranking is the Natasha Denona My Dream palette. So don't get me wrong, this is a really high quality palette, and I love Natasha Denona, and the mattes are the usual good pigmented goodness. I love their cream to powder formula, but yet again it has that more subdued shimmer formula that is a little bit more subtle and not as sparkly and flaky and as intense as shadows you get from indie brands. Now they do have shadows that have a little bit more sparkle than the ones that are in the Nouveau palette from ABH, so that's why I put it higher up. And overall it is a more nudie color story with some berry tones, and I do wear these kind of colors especially for date night, but at the end of the day, I'm always going to go towards something more colorful, but I am happy that I picked it up because I really did enjoy the mattes, and every now and then I like a good warm berry look on my eyes. Like, I mean, that's literally what I have on my eyes right now, and I've always loved Natasha Denona's formula, especially their mattes and the cream to powder, so I do appreciate it. And I do feel like this is very similar to palettes I already have from them, like the Retro palette, and like tones that I can find in my other Natasha Denona palette, so it feels a little repetitive to my collection. I think I just bought it on a whim because I think they were on sale. It might have been during like the Black Friday time, and then I had a coupon and I just got caught up in the moment, and I was like, I want it. It looks so cute, because I feel like it always looks way more intense and like beautiful in like a promo photo, but when you get it, it's like, oh, this is a lot more muted than it looked in the photos. But I'm still happy to have it because, you know, I appreciate a good Natasha Denona palette. And then the next one in the ranking is this one from Gourmande Girl. This is the Gourmand D's one. This also came out at the same time the Ladybug Glow palettes that they did together came out, but this one felt more like the true matte formula that I'm used to from Gourmande Girls. These pastel shades are so pigmented, and that's why I put it up higher, because I just love a really good pigmented pastel, like for inner corner pop to add brightness. And I love the shimmers in here. And I think some of them are holochromes with like extra multicolor shimmers in them, so of course that also made it higher up on the ranking. The reason why this is not like even higher up there is because this is overall a lighter palette. I think this was like their version of a pastel palette. It does have like some midtones in here, and they're slightly deeper than like a true midtone, but it's not as much depth as I would prefer. So this would definitely be a companion palette for me, not a standalone, but I do really like the pastels in here and the shimmers, and that is why it's like, I guess right at the middle point, right? Yeah, right at about the middle point. I just think if there was some deeper shades thrown in, I would like really love this even more, because then it would make it a complete palette for me. But I think they still sell this if you want some good pastels. Also, the only thing I also want to note is I feel like some of the shimmers are kind of like leaking their like oil components, because I can see like some like stain spots on the outside that looks like there's some oil coming out. So hopefully that doesn't mean the shimmers are going to dry out, but I've seen that in palettes in my collection, but that's also something I wanted to mention. Then we're getting up to the next palette, which is from DedeSignature. This is the Shattered Romance palette. This one is beautiful. I love the formula in here. The mattes are really nice, and then there's these beautiful shimmers, and then this little bit smoother one that makes a beautiful inner corner highlight. The reason why this is not super high up there is because it's a pretty monochromatic palette. I really can only do very berry and, you know, pinky purple looks with it, but the formula was nice. And I do feel like this Golden Light shade too is a little bit more on the sheer side, but all the other mattes, beautiful, pigmented, blendable. These gorgeous shifty shimmers are so intense and foiled. And I do like this goldeny moment right here, like goldeny peach moment, and it also makes a beautiful like kind of highlighter blush topper on the cheeks. And these two also make really beautiful blushes, or actually all three. Maybe this one too could even be a blush. I think I tried one of these. It might have been this one as a blush, and it looked gorgeous. And I'm just loving DedeSignature. They have been really impressing me with their products. Now I did get this in PR, but just know I'm giving you my honest feedback. Like, I really like the brand and what they're coming out with, and I think the quality has been excellent amongst their palettes. I actually tried 2 other ones from them that I picked up, did not get sent in PR, but I'm testing those out a little bit more. It's like the Jingle Bell Ruby and the Classic Autumn one. So the more I get a chance to use them, I will, you know, bring them up in another ranking. But I thought this was a cute holiday release from them. And I don't know, the brand is giving you some good stuff and not fully breaking the bank like some other indie brands that like have like, you know, really expensive palettes. Which brings me to one of those brands palettes, but I just adore their formula, so I always cave in and pay the higher price tag. But this is the Realm of Fairies palette from Beaute Bar. It was a collab with Sassy Fairy, and this one is, you know, a monochromatic color story. The grays, blues with some lavender. It's giving, you know, very wintry, ethereal vibes. And, you know, there's only so many color combos that you could do with this, but the formula, like the shimmers, intense foiled, various textures, holochromes, duochromes, multichromes, so stunning. And then the mattes are super buttery and saturated and pigmented. So if I want to go on the blue, gray, purpley, lavender scale, I would totally reach for this, even though I know I have things like this similar to my collection. But cool tones just became a thing towards the end of last year, and then brands just started to release them. But I'm happy to have this. I think Sassy Fairy did a great job and doing something that's monochromatic, that's not too overly repetitive, because none of the mattes are like too close. None of the shimmers are too close. They have different shifts and sparkle. They're just in that blue, you know, monochromatic family, but it's really good. I think if there was more of a variety in the color story, this probably could have ranked up higher, but you know, I have to be wanting to do a specific look to reach for this. But it's an icy little cool tone dream. And then the next palette, we're at what? Number 4 on the ranking. It's the Unearthly Cosmetics Not Normal palette. This was their revamped release where they added some additional shades. I actually just used this yesterday to go out for dinner, and I loved it. I used Topaz on the lid. It has like a pink hue to it, and I used this nice little like grungy mustardy brown through the crease, and I thought my look just came out fabulous. And I love this revamped version. Now I didn't necessarily need this because I already had the original one. I just think the shimmers they're more updated foiled formula than the ones that were in the original Not Normal. But basically like the mattes that they kept within this like palette, the colors from that original palette are basically on the same par, same level of quality, just as pigmented as the ones before that. It's really the shimmers and then having those additional shades thrown in, their different variations of purple and greens that they threw in. But I'm still happy to have it. I did it more so you guys could see what the difference was all about. I did it for science, okay? I did it for the channel. But I do like the additional shades, and that is why it's up there, because the formula is great. I love the color story. I mean, I held onto the Not Normal palette forever from Unearthly, and I'm happy to have an updated, revamped version. I think I could probably end up letting go the original one since I have this one now with more foiled shimmers and more matte options. So that's something to consider for my future declutter of eyeshadow palettes that are coming up soon. And then we're at number 3 in the ranking, which is the Blood Moon palette from Electrum. I was really blown away by this, and it's a little muted, murky, grungy goodness in here. You know, you got the depth, you have some beautiful shimmers in here. This was a new brand to me. I just tried them for the first time this year, and Electrum nailed it, especially with the shimmers. And I actually really did love the mattes. When I originally swatched them, they felt on the drier side, and I was a little concerned, like, are they going to have that pigment? Are they going to be hard to blend? Because it had like that drier, scratchy feel. But I had no issues with the mattes once I put them on the eye. So swatching shadows don't tell you everything about how good the actual formula is going to be. It really just gives you more of a sense of what the color is going to look like against your skin. So I'm happy that it ended up being really good. Like, they're beautiful, blended, saturated, and these shimmers are just out of this world, mind-blowing. That's like the main reason why this is like at the top of the ranking, because of these shimmers. There's like holochromes, dual chromes, foils. Some are a little bit more smooth, a gorgeous iridescent moment. And I love the color story as well. I do feel like maybe if there was more of a difference between these two, maybe more of a difference between these two. But besides that, I think it's an excellent formula, and it's making me want to try more from Electrum, so I can't wait to see what they come out with this year, because I was really impressed by that brand so far. And then we're getting into number 2. So I have the Adept Cosmetics Vivette palette, and this one, I love the formula, but what I think I love the most about this is that it's a very unique color story and very different from anything that I really have in my collection. And to see something new and different in the makeup world is really hard to come by, because there's just so many makeup brands, so many different like options that are very similar. It's hard not to end up duping one another in such a saturated market. But Adept Cosmetics was able to do that with this palette, this unique variation of tones. Like, it just didn't seem like it would work. It seemed like a little disjointed when I looked at it, but I picked it up because I pretty much pick up all of Adept's palettes because I just love their formula. I think their mattes have gotten so good, and I think their shimmers are just getting better and better. They're offering more variation in shimmers, and these colorful mattes were so pigmented and like easy to like put on. Like, one go, it's like full on color payoff, and then you had like this beautiful matte black to deepen things up. This one I thought was going to be lighter. I wish it was a little lighter so I could have used it like a pastel, but I mean, they were impressive. And then these shimmers are so pretty. Some are shifty, extra sparkly, and they all have their own different shifts, and they all seem to just pair really nicely with the matte options in here. So you can do some really fun retro colorful looks with this. And I love that most of the shimmers are on the lighter side, so it adds contrast and brightness. And depending on what shadow you pair it with, the shadows, the metallics will just shift in a certain way paired next to certain colors. So I was actually really impressed by this. I think it's just so fun and unique and very inspiring. When I look at it, I'm like, what should I try now? I don't know. It's just like, is it the primary colors in here? Just the randomness of the shades? There's something about it works and intrigues me and gets me excited to put on eyeshadow. And then a number one in the ranking, which I'm surprised this is number one because it's overall a more nudie color story, but I'm blown away overall by the formula. It's the Legend of Arra palette from Adept Cosmetics, and I originally passed on this, and it was during Black Friday where they were having, you know, a discount on their site overall, and I was like, you know what, I might as well get it because I have all of their Adept palettes. I know the formula is going to be good, and I'm somewhat of a completionist when it comes to Adept Cosmetics, so I was like, you know what, I need to get it. I'll feel weird if I never get it. And I think this was limited edition. I'm not sure if it's still in stock on their website, but I don't think they'll be restocking this if it's already gone. But I was just blown away, of course, by the shimmers. There's these marble pan ones, but based on where you go in the pan, you can kind of manipulate the color to be more blue or more green. And then there's holochromes in here. There's beautiful shifty multichromes, like this multichrome right here shifts to so many different colors. And then you have, you know, lighter tones and extra sparkly, flaky metallics in there. They're just so pretty. And then I thought the color options, the mattes were really nice. You have mid-tones, some lighter shades. And these tones all seem to work really well with the metallic options that are in here. So if you want to lean more blue, you have this, you know, blue shadow right here. If you want to go into the purples, you have a beautiful purple matte. If you want to keep the look a little bit more nudie, you have this cool tone brown, and you have this fun little peachy moment to like warm things up. So I thought like overall the color story made sense. It all worked together, and these shimmers, oh, these shimmers are so good. I just can stare at them. I've used them a lot. Sometimes I'll like use mattes from another palette, and then I'll just pick a shimmer in here to just amp up the look and take it to the next level. So yet again, Adept Cosmetics has blown my mind with how good their palettes have become. Like, and I didn't even know that was possible because I was amazed by their formula and palettes a while ago when I first started trying them. And I'm so excited because I finally got approved to have an affiliate code with them. But if you want to use it, you'll get some money off. It will give me a small kickback because it is affiliated. But if you want to use it, you're welcome to. And I forgot to mention, I also have one with DedeSignature and Beaute Bar. It's all Breezy Beauty. But my codes are always in the description below. But that was everything for this ranking. All of my thoughts since I got a chance to really play with these palettes, do multiple looks with them. And overall, most of them were like really good and amazing. I just had a few quality issues with some of them. But overall, indie brands have always been good to me and have impressed me, and that's what I tend to use the most on my channel. So I had a good time playing with these, and I'm happy to have them in my collection. But you guys will now have to let me know, what are your thoughts in the comments below? Have you tried any of these palettes? Were you surprised by this ranking? I would just love to hear from all of y'all. And if you're new here and you enjoyed this video, you like a lot of fun, colorful makeup content, you like a lot on indie makeup and all that good stuff, then please hit that subscribe button and join this little family. I would love to have you here. Also, don't forget to check out the description below. I will have all the palettes linked if you want to check them out for yourself. I will have any of the videos that I have using any of these products if you want to see them in action and swatches. I will also have my makeup link. Like I said, I did film this for a video and it should be coming soon, so look out for that on my channel. And I will have my contact and my social media platforms linked. I'm also on Instagram as Breezy Lifestyle and Breezy_Beauty. So if you want to join my Instagram fam, I would really love that. But guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, for being here, for supporting my channel and being so amazing. I just appreciate you guys all so much, and I just hope all of you are doing well wherever you are in the world, and just sending you guys so much light and love. But until next time, bye guys.